What's up, everybody? Hopefully, you're having a wonderful day. Today is the day Hololive Production Booster Box. This thing is humongous. If you are new to Weiss Schwarz, I really would want you to watch the trial deck version of the Hololive release first before watching this one. So to get into this video is going to be for the newer people out there. At the very end is going to be the drop rate like I did on the trial deck one. So I just want to get everybody up to speed on what's going to be in this box. I'm going to be showing pictures and all that good stuff, but I'm going to explain this a little bit more than what I normally do just because of the people that are coming in because of a Hololive. The next video for Hololive after this one is going to be the normal buy or invest video, and I'll talk about prices and all that good stuff of all the different cards from the Japanese release. But keep in mind, this is going to be more like an intro one, okay? So what we got in this set is 144 types of cards. They're going to be your non-flashy, non-foily type of cards, okay? You will also have 144 parallel types, and those are going to be your flashier looking cards. And again, if you saw the trial deck version, you'll know what I mean by that, right? You had the trial deck cards, but then you had those parallel, nice, shiny ones that they put in there. So this is exactly the same thing that they're doing. And the breakout is as follows. So the top four, which is your super special, special, triple rare, and super rare, those all together are your 144 parallel types. So they're going to be the ones that are going to be more expensive and all of that stuff. So for the double rares. Double rare and below down there are going to be your 144 normal base cards. Those are the cards you are going to play with this game. The one above are the ones you're going to like collect, put into like a sleeve and probably display it in some kind of shrine or show your friends and all that stuff that you're like, oh my god, I got this, and don't touch it with your dirty hands. That's what you're going to do with those cards. The ones down there are the ones you're going to be playing with, okay? And then inside of one of these boxes, in this display box, people call it booster box, whatever you want to call it, inside of each one of those boxes, there's going to be one of 31 exclusive PR cards. So as you can see, the number 31 comes up a lot. Obviously, it's because there are 31 VTubers in this set. What I'm going to do now for you is show a video. I'm going to show a video of all the different super specials and specials. I think it's one of those ones I don't need to talk through, so enjoy. Before I show you all the different cards that are actually out there, I want to show you how you can actually see them for yourself, because I'm not going to show all the cards. That would be impossible to do, right? 144 plus 144, not going to go through that. So what I'm going to do here for you is show you how you can see them for yourself. out on the Weiss Schwarz English website, you're not going to find them all because what they're doing right now is they're doing a slow reveal of them. They're showing all the different sign cards that are out there. What you want to do is go to the Weiss Schwarz Japanese site. So all you got to do in any internet browser is just type in Weiss Schwarz Japan. If you don't want to do that, if you forget about that, you go out to the English site, go here and delete the en dot. Right, if you do that, it'll take you out to the Japanese site. Again, what I use is Microsoft Edge. It auto translate for me because this site is in Japanese and it gets translated. Once you're out here, you'll want to go to the card list right here at the top. And you'll want to pick Hololive. And the way you can do that is just typing Holo, right? Because this auto translates for me. You hit Hololive. I like doing number of displays equal to 100. Then I don't have to click through too many menus. And then I can just scroll down. So you can see here are all the different card types. There you go. So enjoy. I'm not going to show you them all, but if you are looking for a particular person, that way you can see all the different cards that you might have to collect in the future if you're going to just go down the route of picking a certain character, person, VTuber, like whoever you want to call it, you're going to have to go through there. So first up, what I'm going to do is show you super special sign. There's 31 for 31 VTubers. And really what I wanted to show you here, unlike the trial deck where it was the same type of art, you could see on these super special sign ones that one, there is signs, and two, that there is alternate art. And you could see like it's a little more zoomed out on these right here. So we have signatures zoomed out, different kind of backgrounds going on, and it looks really, really nice. The big thing, if you haven't seen an SSP before, is you could see like these gold foily highlights around. I'm just going to use my mouse here. So you could see this around the level and the cost, and you got this nice little border going on here, and you have a lot of gold lettering. See, like versus where you have this on the left where there is no gold foiling, but it's also whitish. Keep this in mind as I flip to the next one, okay? When I go to these special sign ones, 30, they're signed again, but you see there's a noticeable difference. There's not all this gold around the letters and the cost and the level, right? Like those are all the same. It's not going to change here. What you get here is the actual signature and foil, right? You get that nice foiling here. Obviously, it's not going to be shown in the sample, but you'll get that once you have the card. If you want to actually see them, I would just try typing in eBay, right? Type Sora, Weiss Schwarz Sora SP, you'll see it. And I picked these two because I like them. They're a lot of fun. So you can tell there's a noticeable difference between like quality wise between the super specials and the special ones. And it makes sense. That's why the super special is going to be super expensive. Now we have the super rares, and the super rares, they are going to be similar to what you saw with the trial deck, right? The trial deck took any card that was not a special, a signed card, and turned it into a foil version. It was a triple rare they turned it into. So on the right, you're going to see right here, like under the set, what we have is the same type of art. This is what resembled the actual trial deck. You had a normal version and a foil version. This time it's going to be a super rare, but it's the same idea. It's foil, non-foil, and a foil. With this actual booster box though, the nice part was some of the actual art changed a little bit. So the super rares aren't just all exact copies of the art. What we have here on the left is you can see there's actual different color going on, and it's actually zoomed out as well on the SR version, the super rare version. So not like it was during the trial deck. There's a little variation this time around, which is nicer. If you're gonna get cards, at least it's gonna be somewhat different. I definitely like when you get the different, at least background or something going on versus just the same but foil. It makes it more special, makes it more super. Triple rares, there's going to be 17 of them, and the sad part is I just got done saying how I like where there is different art forms. Well, this one, they're all going to be exactly the same. You're going to have your non-foil climax cards, and your triple rares are just going to be foil versions of them. You can see they look exactly the same. All their difference is just going to be it's flashy, it's nice. It's a little sad because I just got done talking about this in a way. What we have here is the same exact cards with foil versions. So on your left hand side, this should seem familiar to you. This is your trial deck card and triple rare. What they did for this booster box is they took them and made them into promo cards. So these are actually called overframes, overframe rares, but I'm going to call them overframe promos because what you see here, right, is this border, this tech box is gone, visibly gone from the actual card itself. So that's what you have going on here. One is shiny and one is not shiny. So you will get that as a promo card inside of the booster box. Now, I will say this, I do not know if the foil version actually comes in the booster box or not. I am not sure on that. I thought I remember something about like uh, the reprints didn't have the foil versions in them, but don't quote me on that. You're gonna get one of these promo cards. I don't know if the foil is possible if it came from something else. So if someone actually does know, feel free to write down in the comments just to let everybody know. But these are what they're going to look like. So they're going to take the trial deck cards and shove them into your promo. And obviously there's 31. So without counting, I am going to assume one for each of our ladies here. Okay. We also have booster box cards and triple rares turned into overframe promos as well. So they did that with the trial deck and they also did that with booster boxes. As you can see here, we have your booster box again on the left, your common climax and your triple rare, both turned into a shiny version, a foil version of a PR and a shiny one. So that's what we got going on here. Same exact thing, just text box border kind of just gone there, and that's what we have. So again, one per box. Don't know if you can actually get the foil version in there, but that's what's happening with the promos. Last thing to remember, this is an English kind of a thing. It didn't happen in Japan. So what we have here is your announcement for that tournament store support PR pack. For Hololive, you're going to get a special PR pack which will contain two cards, one normal and one parallel foiled card, which is nice. It doesn't actually say here if it's going to be the same person, right? Like if you get a Kiara normal card, it doesn't say you're going to get a Kiara foiled card. It doesn't say that at all. It could be random. I don't know what's going to happen, but we will find out. Again, you need to actually get this from a tournament authorized local game store. And for me, unfortunately, I don't actually have one of those. What you want to do is just try to find one. There is shops, there's stores on the Weiss Schwarz website. I will tell you, it is definitely out of date because there's stores on there that I looked up around me that don't actually exist anymore or do not sell Weiss Schwarz products for like years. It's been years. They don't do that. So what I will say is if you know any local stores around you, just make sure to see if they actually sell Weiss Schwarz and if they're tournament ready, because these are going to be one of those ones where if you could get the Hololive stuff from that actual store, see how that they're actually giving it out, that would probably be better than buying from an online store because these are going to be pretty special, right? Like that Gura card is going to be very expensive if you like Gura. I like, as I said, I like Kiara, so I would love to have Kiara, but that's the direction I would go first. If I was looking to buy product, I would be looking for a local tournament game store that I can actually get these PR packs from. Next up we have is how much does this stuff all cost? The reason again why I wanted to do this was I wanted to make sure everybody goes out there and does not wait for the actual release date to try to find product, because this is one of those sets that I imagine go really quick. I know in Japan they reprinted the trial deck and booster box, which is pretty amazing. We don't know with English if they're going to do that. There's no guarantees of that. So I wouldn't pay like some astronomical price, like $100 or something like that for a booster box. That's crazy. Like I did look before I made this video, and there are still boxes out there that are in the 70 range. And I know some of the stores did not actually put up all of their boxes yet. So on release day, some of the stores will actually do that. Again, if you want to actually find a store or be pointed in a direction, I would try Facebook. You want to join the Facebook global community, Weiss Schwarz global community, and also the NA community, NA group, I think is what it is. Check those out. So booster boxes, they're still definitely out there. And again, there's going to be some on release day. Just don't go and pay anything crazy. I wouldn't be paying 80. I wouldn't be paying 90, 100, 110, nothing like that. That's insane. I would at that point, I would probably just buy single cards or something or hope that a reprint comes. That's me personally. If you have the money, do whatever you'd like to do. A case or carton again is going to consist of 18 of these boxes, and depending on where you bought it at, it's going to be in the 950 to $1,300 range. A recap of what we have here. So we have total 144 cards and 144 parallels. So all those cards you saw above. 9 cards per pack, 16 packs per booster box or display. So the thing on the right is the booster box or display. It's interchangeable. And again, 18 displays per case or carton. 1 of 31 exclusive BR cards in every box. Now, the drop rate. This is what we have. Japan release case rates 5 out of 18. Why did I say that? Because down below, what happened in the Japan release for a case of these? There's 18 boxes in an actual case. There was 1 SSP, one of those fancy, nice looking ones, and then 4 SPs. So that's why that SSP is really expensive. Thinking about it, right? If you wanted one person, one VTuber, you technically have to buy, if your luck is horrible, at minimum, you would have to buy 31 of these cases to actually get that. Like, you have to literally open all of them, and you get the person you want in the very last one, horrible luck, 31 minimum that you would have to open. That's why it's expensive. You have you have a 1 out of 18 shot to begin with, and then once you get that box, you have 1 out of 31 chance of getting the person that you want. It's freaking terrible odds. So overall, like, to get a signed card, that's why I said 5 out of 18, because 1 and 4. Okay, we know that is the Japan release numbers. That doesn't mean it's going to be the same in English. It should. I mean, realistically, it should make sense that it would be the same. Maybe they're going to be nicer and they give us 2. I doubt that's ever going to happen. But it could always go the other way where they take 1 out. Like, it could be 1 and 3. So we don't know, but that's what it is. So what that actually looks like is this. Imagine a big brown box around this thing. This is your actual case of 18 on the screen. I know it actually hurt my eyes actually making this and doing this. So just because of how, I don't know, I got hit with a bunch of colors, I guess. It's white with a bunch of colors, and I'm sitting in the dark. But what you have here is 4 SPs and 1 SSP. So you can imagine how hard this is actually going to be to pull out these signature cards. Again, this is just me throwing this randomly on the screen. This has nothing to do. Like, if you go and pick the first box there from your case or whatever you bought, it is not going to be guaranteed that you get a signed card. All this is representing is there are 4 randomly scattered SPs in there and 1 randomly scattered SSP. Okay, the rest of them are gonna not have the signed cards in them. You'll be a little sad, but this is just how luck works, right? That roughly equates out to 28% chance. You have a 28% chance of pulling a signed card. It's not very good. Okay. So last thing I want to say is I did this on the trial deck. I'm going to do it here. Collecting. If you are looking to just collect this, and that could be in any form, right? Like, people could want to collect sign cards. People can want to collect, just a booster box. Some people want to just have a certain person. The direction I'm going to be going, or at least telling you, is you'll want a booster box. You'll want a trial deck. I think that looks really cool, having a booster box and trial deck. There are 7 trial decks. That's the hard part about this actual set. It's super expensive, right? Like, just thinking about that. I got 7 different trial decks. I got a booster box. So you may end up just going the route of getting a booster box, getting the trial deck that you like so that you actually have it, and buying the singles. That's why I pointed you to that website, looking up if you want a certain VTuber, finding all of our cards, and then just buying it when it comes out. Because remember what I just said about that SSP. If you wanted a certain person and your luck was terrible, let's say your luck wasn't terrible, but maybe you have to open 8 cases to get what you want. Maybe it was a lot cheaper if you went the route of going and buying the SP or SSP outright, right? Instead of going for a case or 2 cases or 5 cases, might just be easier to get in that one. Obviously, there is advantages of buying 5 cases because you have all those cards that you can sell off and all that and make your money back. A lot of people are going to be doing that. I know people have said they bought like 20 cases of this stuff. So this is a thing. Like there's going to be a lot of this out there. There's going to be a lot of extras. So we'll see what happens. But there also is going to be a lot of demand. With this set, there are 15 double rares. Remember when I said earlier about the math? Like the 9 times, what was it, 16? 9 times 16 is 144. So there's 144 different type of cards, but there's a bunch of duplicates that you're going to get. And at the same time, because of the nature of this box, I know this is getting in the nitty gritty. You might not know what this means if you're new. Those double rares, there's a limit on how many of them are in a box. There could be 4 of them, there could be 5 of them. So when you're looking at this box, you're doing the math. You're like, okay, I might need 1, I might need 2, but realistically, you need a minimum of 3 because of those double rares, and that's if you don't get duplicates. So you might actually need 4 or 5 to actually get one of each of the normal cards, not the flashy SPs or anything like that, but just the normal cards. You're gonna need a bunch of these boxes, okay? You're gonna get some duplicates and all that. So that's what I'm saying. Like if you do all the math on what I showed you with the trial decks and booster box, you might blow your budget. So you really need to sit down and be like, how much do I really want to spend on these Hololive cards? I don't want. I hate like anybody that's watched me for a long time. I say a thing at the very end about don't spend anything outside of your budget. And with this Hololive set, you can easily do that and not realize it, or you really need to write down what your goal for this set is. And that's why I'm going through all this so much, why I'm telling you all these different cards, why I'm showing you all the different prices. I really want you to have an expectation when you open these things what you're actually going to get out of them. That way you're able to get the cards you want and not blow your budget. Okay, that's really what I want. I don't want anybody just like not getting what they want and then overspending and then be super disappointed. This is really about, collecting cards for the fun of it. And as I say that, playing for fun. So combining these two together, do videos together, the trial deck and the booster box, playing for fun. I think it's always been fun for me to just take one trial deck, literally one trial deck, and play with somebody new. It brings me so much joy, and especially if it's something that they love, like the anime that they actually like. You could go further and get a booster box or singles, right? Like you can actually, you're not going to be able to do it with one VTuber. There's not enough cards for that, but you're able to take, let's say, one generation trial deck and get some of the booster box or singles and mix those cards in of the same generation and play with that. I think that would be really fun. Somewhat competitively, you're going to more than likely want 2 trial decks, or at least the singles from the 2 trial decks, if you have to buy singles instead of buying a trial deck, and a booster box, because there's going to be some strong cards that you'll want to take from the booster box and mix them in and buy singles, right? Like, so if you don't want to buy a booster box, you're going to want to at least buy singles to play somewhat competitively. And lastly, we got competitive. Consider buying a playset. I did a bunch of videos on what a playset is, so I'm not going to go over that right here. Or a combination of 2 trial decks, booster box, and singles. That's really the direction you want to go. Again, what you want to do is just really figure out what your goals for Hololive actually is. If you're just in it, you're new, you love Hololive, I would definitely write down how much you're willing to spend and just kind of piece out how much you're going to spend. And I would do it quickly. again, because this thing comes out on April 29th, and there's not much time left. People are getting interested in this or just finding out about this, and there's not much supply left. I'm not trying to freak you out again. Don't buy this thing for like $90 to $100. That would be insane. Don't do it unless you're rich. Then do whatever you want. Buy 30 cases of this if you can find it at whatever insane price is out there, okay? But realistically, just be careful. If you have any questions, feel free. Like I've always said this, feel free to write in comments or send me an email. My email's in the description. It may take me 24 to 48 hours to get back to you. And at the same time, there's other people that watch these videos that are really, really helpful. And I've seen them respond back to people when I'm not around. So it's awesome when people do that. I really appreciate anybody that does that. So feel free to write back in comments if I don't have the answer or I haven't actually responded yet, okay? So with that, as always, have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside of your budget. Seriously. Seriously, don't do that. Not on this one, especially with all the stuff coming up. It's crazy. Have fun.